Interface Video presents Fairfield Today. Brought to you by Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan, Fairfield Medical Center, Fairhope Hospice and Palliative Care, the Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities, the Frankie Smith Funeral Home, and Ohio University Lancaster.
Good morning and welcome to Fairfield Today. I am your host, Temple Custer Montanez with the Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disability. And if you can't tell where I am today, it's very colorful in here. I am inside the Blue Shoe Art Studio at 150 West Main Street, also known as Art and Clay on Main and Square 7 Coffee House. And with me today is Pam Whiteley. Pam, good morning. Thank you for being here with us.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Now, Pam, tell me your official title down here at Blue Shoe, because I know you wear many hats.
Yeah, it's just studio coordinator.
Okay, studio coordinator for the Blue Shoe Art Studio. Now, a lot of people are familiar with the Blue Shoe Art Studio. It's been around since 2003, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so since 2003, but it's been through a lot of changes. So tell me a little bit, Pam, about what Blue Shoe Art Studio is today and how you've gotten to this point.
The changes, it used to be housed within the adult day service, and it was a nice kind of alternative to their production lines and gave a creative outlet for people. And since then, it's moved to 150 West Main Street, and it's taken on a very independent artist direction, where each artist is kind of independent in their drive or their focus of what they want to do or what they want to be as an artist.
Okay, because initially Blue Shoe Art was more of a collaborative studio, is that correct? And by collaborative, we mean that different artists would work on one body of work. And you've sort of steered the group away from that to get them to this point of independence, is that correct?
Absolutely. I think that art is unique in that it allows people who have no other way of expressing themselves to express themselves. So it was very important to me that each artist was able to get that independent expression or focus out. So, yeah.
And when you work with individuals who maybe do have some communication challenges, how do you get to that point? How do you get to the point where you can help someone express themselves through art when they have difficulty expressing themselves in any other way?
It's very interesting how organic the process really is. I think that if you give somebody the opportunity, it's very natural for them to do it without a lot of direction. I think that from that initial moment where they just are able to start expressing themselves and doing whatever they want to do, to render it, that's where I think the challenge becomes a little bit more, because you want them to be displayed in a light that's more professional, I guess. And so I think that we want to be able to market the art and market the artist for who they really are.
And I like that you maintain that integrity of the artist and that they maintain their own voice. How does an artist go through the process? So, for example, because currently, the Blue Shoe Art Studio is an accessible art studio for adults with disabilities only, and that actually will be changing in the future, and we'll get to that momentarily. But at the time that we're in right now, how do you develop an artist? So you have an artist in here for the first time who maybe has expressed an interest in art, and maybe that's all you have to go on. Where do you go from that point?
We just kind of start playing, really. I want to know what they've already done, and if they're not able to tell me, they can show me. We just kind of put out different supplies for them to kind of mess with and play with, and I'll show them some different techniques, and if it's something they've never used before, I'll go through and kind of demonstrate how to use them, and then they kind of take off from there. And it's a well-rounded, so we do anything from sculpture to clay to painting and drawing, and so or sewing and soft goods. I mean, it kind of touches on several different things.
I know, and one thing that Pam has really taken a great interest in and made a lot of strides in is also educating the artist about other types of art in the world. And so maybe if you see that they are liking working with fibers, you will look up and find information on a fiber artist and introduce them to that realm of work.
Right. Yeah. I think it's very important as an artist to see other artwork. It not only helps you just kind of see what other people are doing and how materials can be manipulated, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to do that. It's just kind of nice to be educated on the possibilities.
Excellent. Currently, the Blue Shoe artists, all of their work is available for sale. at 150 West Main Street inside Art and Clay. And what's fabulous about that is that all of the proceeds from those pieces go directly to the artist minus the supply costs. And I have to plug this for Pam because she's a little humble. The majority of the supplies that they use at Art and Clay, from paint and canvases and frames, are donated items.
Yeah, or constructed by us. Yeah, absolutely. Instead of buying a lot of pre-stretched canvases, we'll buy the canvas, and then we have a lot of donated frames, so we'll stretch our own and gesso them for people to work on.
So anybody that's watching, if you have a basement full of unused art supplies or paint or even things that you're not sure what to do with, chances are the artists down here will find something to do with them. Case in point, there's a piece behind me that's made out of twigs and what is all that?
I see neckties and ribbon and yarn and string and wooden beads and some kind of like fringy border stuff that I think you put on hats or something. I don't know.
So they will say no to nothing.
Right.
Oh,
Take pretty much everything.
that's good to hear. How many artists are currently working in the Blue Shoe Art Studio?
We have about 18 right now. And I think touching back a little bit on the artists that I get, we get artists, a wide range of artists and people who, so when we talk about the future, we kind of want to be better serve or better give the opportunities for people who just like art for art's sake. We have some artists who don't really have a direction or drive to do anything more than that. We'll have something that caters more to that. We're allowing a more focused artist in residency, which is what I'm sure we'll talk about here, is we'll give a little bit more person-centered services. So like I can really work with people one-on-one and to educate them and help let them grow as an artist. So.
Now, March is a big month at Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities, as it is in county boards across the nation, because March is National DD Awareness Month. In Fairfield County, we are having several events to celebrate this, one of which is an art showing with a solo show that is going to be up March 4th through the end of the month. Is that correct?
Yes, yeah. From 5:30 to 8, we'll have Kayla Council will have a ceramic opening here, and the show will close at our Celebration of Possibilities. Yeah.
Excellent. Now, tell me a little bit about what that means to an artist to have a solo show.
Well, I think that once an artist is focused enough to create a pretty nice, cohesive body of work, they get to a point where they want to show people and demonstrate what they've learned and how they've grown. And so for her in ceramics, she's kind of a well-rounded artist in like several different media, but she really likes clay and making bowls and dishes and those kinds of things. So she's learned some new techniques and has really done well and taken off with it. So this show kind of encompasses that entire journey.
Excellent. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to speak with Kayla momentarily and have her show us a couple pieces of her work. And welcome back to Fairfield Today. I am your host, Temple Custer Montanez, and I am at the Blue Shoe Art Studio today inside 150 West Main Street, Art and Clay on Main, and Square 7 Coffee House. And with me today is Pam Whiteley, who is a studio coordinator for Blue Shoe Art, and one of our more talented artists, Kayla Council, is with us this morning. Good morning, Kayla.
Hi.
Thank you for agreeing to speak with us. Kayla has a solo show this month running the beginning of March through the end of March. And your show is called A Piece of Me. Do you know why it's called A Piece of Me?
Because I like peace signs.
You like peace signs. And your studio director here, Pam, tells me you also like bright colors and working with bright colors.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about this work.
It's a bowl that I made out of soil that I learned how to do. And then I picked the colors from a magazine for what colors go together.
That's really great because I know that can be one of the hardest things with art is picking out color combinations and those color relationships. Is that something that you see that Kayla excels at, Pam?
She loves color of all kind, and there's really no. Sometimes I think that we need to kind of make it a more mature selection, if that makes sense. So we kind of talked about magazines that put together those palettes, and it's a really good thing to kind of look at as a guidance to picking out your overall color scheme for your pieces. I think they depend, and tell me if I'm wrong, but they kind of go with her feeling for the piece. So if a piece is, more somber, or if it's excited or happy, I think her colors really go with the work that she's done.
I love this. And I know that I've watched Kayla as an artist develop over the past several years, and initially was doing a lot with canvas and paint. Kayla, how did you decide that you wanted to start working with clay?
I seem like it more sales faster than my painting did.
Oh, it sells faster. Well, you can't argue with the numbers, can you?
Yeah. Because my last show, I had lots more of my books sold very fast at the moment than my paintings did.
But you know what? I think that's important, and that's an important piece to this whole puzzle, is that they do learn, what is appealing to an audience, and that's something that many artists struggle with.
Right, and I think also, in addition to that, she had kind of made it a goal of hers to always learn something new when she comes here. As an artist, she was never kind of just satisfied with doing the same thing. She always wanted. So clay was one of the things that she started to learn and really loved it. So I know that selling it is fun and it's exciting, but I think underneath all of that, that really drives her is that she loves working with ceramics and with clay. Is that right? Or,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So another thing that I notice, and I don't know if we can get a shot inside here of this bowl, but your attention to detail and the painting that you do inside of your pieces and on your pieces is very intricate. Is that something that takes you a lot of time? Because you have left nothing unpainted inside this bowl, and I noticed that a lot in your work. Is that important to you?
Yes.
Yeah.
And for me to paint, it'll take me a few days to get it done. And to make it took me almost the whole day to make it in one day, but it'll take me longer to paint.
Right. Well, you can certainly tell that you've taken your time, and I like everything that you're doing. So we're excited, and we invite everybody to come down to Art and Clay on Main at 150 West Main Street and see Kayla's show, A Piece of Me, which will be up through March 31st. Thank you for being with us, Kayla.
You're welcome.
We'll be right back. And welcome back to Fairfield Today. I am your host, Temple Custer Montanez, with the Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities. I am at 150 West Main Street today inside the Blue Shoe Art Studio with Pam Whiteley, the studio coordinator. Thank you so much for having us in here today, Pam. We've been talking a little bit about what Blue Shoe is now, where Blue Shoe had come from in the past. We've met with an artist. We've seen a little bit of the work. But things are changing in the world of DD, and in turn are changing for you at Blue Shoe Art Studio. Tell us about some of the really cool and exciting things that are happening.
Absolutely. Yeah, we are actually opening it up. So as you said before, that we've been exclusive to giving our services to only those who have services through the county board. And so now we've opened it up to any willing artist in the community who wants to come down, and we have classes that will be ongoing. And then we have an open studio Friday, which will just kind of be like a medium of the day that people can come in and explore. We have art interest groups that are welcome to meet here. Like on Tuesdays, we have the sewing group that comes in. It's kind of grown into just an all-encompassing textile group, just because there's so many different variations. And then we'll have kind of an instructional painting class that'll run once a month. So lots of kind of variations for everybody. And then the closest thing to what Blue Shoe is today will be turning into an artist in residency program. And so that is also open to any willing artist. There will be an application and a need for a project proposal to be submitted. And then we have a panel of artists that will kind of go through it and look through the application. And it's really to kind of help artists, give them the space to grow, or also if they have a specific thing that they want to kind of research or get into, then we're going to help them through that process.
So just to reiterate, what used to be a closed studio for individuals with developmental disabilities now will be open to the whole community. And what's important about that is that the world of DD is getting away from sheltered workshops. We're getting away from closed programs, and we're really making a valiant effort, and by we, I mean the entire country, to focus more on integrating individuals with disabilities into their community. So what better way than through art, which is really a universal language. And so, like Pam said, now there will be classes for people in the public to come in and take. They could be individual classes, they could come in for studio time, and they will still be working alongside people with disabilities.
Yeah, I mean, imagine a world or a place that you go to and it's not something that you even think about. Why am I thinking about that I'm working next to somebody with a wheelchair? We're just working together. I mean, I'm doing art and they're doing art. And so we kind of want to create a place where people don't see that anymore. And hopefully other places will emulate that. That's the idea.
Well, it's a beautiful idea, and it takes the word colorblind to a whole new level. Do you anticipate there ever being any type of instance where you would not have individuals with disabilities in a class, and how does that work?
I don't know that I do. That's the idea, is that we want to make sure that we are all inclusive with everything that we provide here at 150. And I think that through our classes or through the artist in residency, through the coffee shop, through art and clay, that it is something that other places hopefully will look at and see that there's a great deal of worth in everybody. And
So tell me about some of the classes that you'll be offering. I know that there's a noon or 11 to 1 class, one Thursday a month, and there's a couple really neat ones. We'll have to have you check them out because there's a couple I'd like to sign up for as well.
Yeah, we're trying out lots of different things to kind of see what will stick and what people will like, but also opening up the offerings. So right now it's kind of typically just canvas painting that you can get outside of ceramic painting at art and clay. And so, but we have a copper embossing class coming up in March, and a paper making class, and then a bookbinding class, a ceramic weaving class. Those are just in March, and those are all the studio classes. The unique thing I think about the series is they stand alone, or if you take them all together, then you've created a really awesome book with the copper embossing on the outside. And then, the third Thursday of every month will be Create, which is our instructional painting class. And it's not just on canvas. We'll do watercolor. We painted with coffee last week or last month. So that'll be kind of a wider range, too. And then the Friday Open Studio is more educational. So if you've wanted to try oil pastels, but you don't really want to buy them, you don't really know if you like them, come down and try them out and, learn some techniques. And then that way you know whether you want to try it or further or not.
And Pam is probably one of the more talented artists I've ever met. So you will be on site, correct, to help people learn these new techniques and work with new mediums?
Absolutely. And also, we have other staff here, and so we're all kind of going through this together and learning together. So whoever it is that's educating or teaching will be just as valuable as myself.
Well, that's good to know. So what does this cost? I mean, it sounds expensive.
Now, and that's the other idea, is that our classes will run during the day when transportation is running, and that's kind of one of the number one barriers, I think, for people who rely on that or don't have a car, is everything is offered in the evenings when they can't get here. And then anywhere from $10 to $20 will be the classes. So, they are out of pocket. The artist in residency is not. It's free, as long as you provide some supplies and whatnot. But, it's relatively cheap.
So it's a valuable experience in many aspects of the word. Yeah. So there's social value and merit, and then of course it's not financially strapping to participate.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Great. Well, I've had a terrific time down here today, Pam, and I thank you as always for being with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was nice.
Absolutely. So big changes happening at Blue Shoe Art and at 150 West Main Street. In the meantime, I hope that all of you will participate with Fairfield DD throughout the month of March as we celebrate Fairfield DD's National DD Awareness Month. That's a mouthful. Yeah, it's a lot of DDs, a lot of letters. As we said, Kayla Council's show will be running here through the end of the month. On Saturday, the 12th, we will be having a walk at the mall at 9 a.m. outside our place at Discover You. And that is a free event, and all you need to do is come out and register at 9 a.m. and walk a mile in the mall with us in support of DD awareness. In addition to that, we have a free movie that we will be showing at Ohio University Lancaster on the 24th at 7 p.m. And of course, our month always comes to an end with the celebration of possibilities. So if you have any questions about the programming at 150 West Main Street, Blue Shoe Art, or even any of the wonderful things going on with Fairfield DD, do not hesitate to give us a call at 740-652-7220. Until then, we'll see you next time.
Interface Video presents Fairfield Today. Brought to you by Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan, Fairfield Medical Center, Fairhope Hospice and Palliative Care, the Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities, the Frankie Smith Funeral Home, and Ohio University Lancaster.